the chairman of the conversation was about to say, so we are now going to, I raised my hand. Said, okay. No one knew me now. I needed to introduce myself and apologize. So I was setting the tone for what I was about to say. I'm so sorry I had missed out. I just got the notification, so that's why I showed up. But I'm looking at this document and looking at these figures and projections, I think there's a grave error. Guess what happened in that room? These people that didn't say nothing suddenly started. Yeah, even me too. That's how I was. A meeting that everybody had agreed on a document that they were going to take out. No one had the courage to critique it. And let me tell you how bad this is. That is the reality of the people surrounding our leaders. If you are in part of a leadership structure where you are the one who is always criticizing, they will tag you as a rebel. They will say this one he has been sent by the opposition to come and undermine us. So you are surrounded with people who simply reinforce your bias. Everything you say is correct. So they get used to it as leaders in that capacity till the day they encounter somebody that says, Mr. Governor, sir, respectfully, I think you are derailing. I said, what? Because every day they wake up is yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. How will it not reinforce your mind? So as leaders, you must create an environment that allows dissenting voices to be heard. Because diversity is a good thing. Why are we different brains in a room when you are attempting to force one narrative on different people? Who says I am not looking at the perspective differently? Who says there isn't a better way to do this? Why are you quieting down my voice because it does not align with yours? So as a leader from the get-go, you must encourage diversity of opinions. And it does not mean that you're going to accept it. It means that you're giving people room to, when they step inside, they will tell you what they think without the fear of being labeled or being disgruntled at or being pushed aside or being sidelined, like they say in politics. We have people who normally should support leaders today who have become gatekeepers. So that you have a brilliant idea that has the capacity of solving a fundamental economic problem, but because they have made a leader inaccessible, it becomes difficult for you to be able to penetrate. Brothers and sisters, take that idea to where it will be appreciated. Because you don't have the monopoly of it. Because someone else will eventually come up with it. So if you have a burning idea and you're struggling to make way in a certain area that does not appreciate it, find out where it will be appreciated and take it there. Anytime I'm abroad, nobody cares about the village I come from. Nobody wants to know that in my family, I am probably the first graduate who has a degree. Nobody wants to know that. Nobody wants to know that I have two parents who are hardworking civil servants. One is civil servant and a mother who just did her first era as a primary health worker and now is a full-time. No one cares. The question is, what can you offer us? It gives you room to comfortably raise your hand and speak in a gathering where heads of state are sitting and they nod and say, yes, you're making sense. So don't shadow yourself in an environment where consistently you're talked down till you think you're stupid. You're not stupid. It's the environment that does not appreciate diversity that consistently has weakened that spirit in you that thinks that if you say it, they will laugh at me. They're not laughing at you. They're simply laughing at their own lack of awareness. Because you know the thing about stupidity is that stupidity is even unknown to the person himself. If you're a stupid person, you don't know you're a stupid person. You know why? You don't have the intellectual capacity to process that you're stupid. But the intelligent person knows his limits. So as Dr. Shedrack, I know that put an animal on the table, I will operate it. I'll close it up and I'll tell you pick and go. As Dr. Shadrach, I know that call me to speak on entrepreneurship and I will give you a master class. But as Dr. Shadrach, I know that if you ask me to fly a plane, I cannot. As Dr. Shadrach, if you ask me to pick up a gun and go and fight in the war front, I don't have the training. A stupid person and a fool will do all of them. They will say, I can do it. And they go, and that's why they say a fool's death. So it's very critical for you to understand the place of courage as a leader who wants to exert influence. It's critical for you to understand that, because without that understanding, you are going to unknowingly be killing the spirit of those around you, because in your own house, you're the father, so if you say it, it's closed. There's a reason why in my meetings, I speak last. I have no shame in stepping back after I've made a decision. Because the indices of an intelligent mind is the capacity to shift grounds when presented with superior information. So that if you thought this is the best way to have done this, when your team member says, sir, I like the point you presented, but I was thinking, you listen. And you also acknowledge such a person for the work the person is doing. Don't be that person where it's you, all glory you, or nothing else. A leader's responsibility is not to be the smartest in the room. So entrench courage in your team members. Entrench courage in your families. Entrench courage in your students. Entrench courage in your business. So that people learn and understand that it is not a bad thing to disagree. That it's not a bad thing to not agree that this is the best way to do it. And that's why we say when you disagree on principle, not person. I'm not saying the same thing as insulting someone. So when you find those people that it is impossible for them to disagree without insulting, ignore them. I'm talking about those who have different political leanings yet can have very intellectually stimulating conversations, come out with the result and work. Elon Musk was aggressively supporting Donald Trump. Mark Zuckerberg was aggressively supporting Joe Biden, Kamala Harris in this case. Are you saying that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg will not see eye to eye? So you must learn that if your disagreement must happen, it must happen on the basis of principle. And once it is aligned, you move on. Some of you, because somebody said what you are saying is not right, you say you will never greet a person. But in truth, what you were saying was not right. Some of us are so pompous that even in our wrongdoing, there's a pattern we want to be corrected. Me, if you want to talk to me, call me aside though. No. You are wrong, so you have lost the agency to talk about how you should be corrected. Because the crux of the matter is that you did something wrong, so the correction is on principle, not on person. So I'm hammering the conversation on courage because it is a lacking element in this generation. A lot of us, we lack courage. We just float with the crowd. Someone came to me and was like, I said, me, with all the knowledge in my head, I will follow you because what? Have the courage to step away. Like Abraham Lincoln said, on matters of style, flow with the tide. On matters of principle, stand like a rock. And it's to say too that you are going to meet people who you will not find alignment. It's not everyone that is for you. And you must learn to identify it and identify it fast. So let's look at this in terms of leadership at different stages of your lives. Earlier in the morning, I established that there are different sections from the secondary school students to university to graduates and the likes. The leadership you demonstrate at every stage of this life points of yours varies. And that is why we say life is in stages and in phases. So as a secondary school student here, where I was some many years ago, 3 things you must hold to heart: curiosity, discipline, and character. It is why it is said that you do not teach an old dog new tricks. If at a foundational level like your secondary school journey, you fail to entrench curiosity, you fail to entrench discipline, and you fail to entrench character, you have already lost out, I won't say 100%, but 50%. So do a self-reflection at this point. Do I embody these characters? Because leadership is evident in secondary school. I was class monitor in most of my junior classes. I was the house captain when I got to SS3. So it demanded of me to demonstrate a level of leadership. And if I didn't demonstrate curiosity, healthy curiosity, and it's something, like I said, encourage it in yourself. Curiosity, not judgment. I said that earlier. Where you challenge systems in a way that is geared towards improving it. Because it has been done like this for donkey years does not mean it is right. How do you put forward a conversation that helps the system do better? I was driving to, I think to Boko. And I passed a school at around Wanoni, and I saw students still, using cutlasses. And I was like, I don't have issues with doing that. I had issues with the timing. Morning around 9. I felt like at that time you should be learning in class. As a leader in a school like that, who says you cannot engage constructively with your institution to say, can we do this better? We challenge systems not because we want to win arguments. We challenge systems because we want to improve them. And when you want to improve them, you show evidence of what is working. But the mistake a lot of us make as young people is that we complain and then leave it at that. But like we know, nature abhors a vacuum. So that system that you want to change, what is the alternative that you're proposing? So as a secondary school student, let curiosity drive you. Have that self-discipline that ensures you show up every day and build the character upon which you're going to be able to use to build the rest of your life. Try to look at your mates now, for those of us who are past secondary school and university. Some of those people who we knew had very crooked ways. For them that didn't change till now, that has followed them through. And that is why I say, opportunities simply reveal a man to himself. He doesn't change anybody. You will say, me, this one, he finally got money. I said, he didn't change. It is the circumstance that finally revealed him. So, hold on to these building blocks so that it serves as a strong foundation for you to build the rest of your life. Therefore, undergraduates, you must embody initiative and learning agility. At VetConnect, we say that it all begins with initiative. Every single change we see across the world today is an outcome of taking initiative. Every major breakthrough that has happened in this world came about because someone took the initiative to act. And why is learning agility very important and connected to this? It talks about your ability to quickly adapt. You go to school as an undergraduate, and the only thing you read on that course is the handout that your lecturer gave you. And then you want to do better than the one that went on to use their phone and download information and read more. You want to do better than the one that has gone on YouTube to look for videos about the course and study more. We are sadly in an era where, despite the overwhelming flow of information available, we have a proliferation of young people who are averse to learning. That a lecturer that wants to complete his 2 hours is now becoming a burden on students. That a lecturer that says, do your assignment yourself, is now becoming wicked. Yet, this one is saying that it's because it's in Nigeria that his life is not good. It will be worse even if you go abroad. Because abroad, the systems work and they will only reward meritocracy. You have someone, a young person in the university with an iPhone 15 or 16 or 17, or whichever one is the latest. And yet, you listen to the quality of conversations, like the person is actively spreading a rumor that is not true. And he has a device that can verify whether that thing is true or not. That instead of validating information from source, they would rather be on Facebook and turn their mouth and say, that thing they said, is it true? And if it's true, yes, I'm seeing it too, you hit retweet. That in our numbers, when we should be countering fake news, we are an educated pool of people who have availed ourselves to be used by lies. And let me tell you something about a learning bias. So the minute you hear anything at all that is negative, the minute they say it, even no matter how ridiculous it is true. Forward. Because like I said, the proof of a superior mind is your capacity to embody different minds or different inputs in terms of what is being said, process it and acknowledge it even if it does not align with your own personal bias. Because we have personal biases. Who I like is not who you like. It does not now mean that because you do not like something, as long as something is said about such a person, you will pick it up and amplify. And most times we think that social media will save us. We tell lies about people, and when they take it up, we want to go online and cry foul. I hope you're familiar with the laws around cybercrime. Remember the lesson of the crowd. When it matters, they will vanish. Because the crowd comes to feed their hunger. It's not after Jesus fed thousands of people that they suddenly said, let's make him king. Bible students. After he fed them, they now wanted to make him king. Now, if another person brings the food, they will still eat and say, don't we see it happen today amongst the masses? We say boldly, that is the one that brings the highest money that I will collect. So we must be able to learn as young people. We must be able to learn as young people who are in the university, first to take initiative, act fast. Stop relying on third parties when you can validate information from source. And then learn fast and also adapt fast. As graduates, you must master reliability and excellence. If you are competent but you're not reliable, it is a matter of time. I said this. See as a man who is diligent in his work. What recommendations are being passed about you on the quality of work? You are a graduate of computer science. If I give you my laptop to write me a line of code that will say hello world, can you do it? You are a graduate of computer science. Talk to me about 5 strong AI platforms today that are changing the world. Can we have that conversation? You are a political scientist. Talk to me about the political trends of Nigeria. Can we have a conversation? You are an economic student. Talk to me about the projections of our budget. Can we have a conversation? That subject matter you carry around on your certificate, if I engage you, brother, sister, can man to man, can we talk for 2 minutes? Or is it whiskey that is the in thing? or any other trending news that will phase out immediately and another one will come. And then your job is to continue feeding the timeline with it. Yet, if I move you away from there and we say, talk, let's stimulate our intellect, you're zero. I have met graduates. I would speak to the graduate for the life. And I'm telling you, when Aliko Dangote said that young graduates are unemployable, for those of you who are alive enough to remember, it sounded like an insult. I employ we are not short of certificates. There are plenty floating around. It's when you're finding a competent one. That's when you know that this life is hard. Are you part of the people saying that Nigerian graduates amount to no good? Because if what I'm saying is hitting you, then you must do better. Embody reliability and excellence. But if you miss the former step of building learning agility as an undergraduate, go back to it. Make up for your lapses so that you come back and then embody it. Because as a graduate, you're already a product thrown out there. You're going to apply for jobs. You're going to come for interviews. We are going to engage. And then they will figure out that you are a lightweight. So you must force yourself to do better. As employers, you must embody vision and people development. Beyond paying that salary for your staff, what else do you invest in their life? What do you know their aspiration? Do you know what they want to do with their life this year? Or for you, come and do your job, collect your salary and go home. If you ask them, what is our vision? What is our mission? What are our core values? What is our target for 2026? If I meet them randomly on the road and I throw these questions, can they tell me? Do you invest in building the capacity of your team? Or you think it's waste of money? Every leader that seeks to command influence must invest actively in building the capacity of their team. In business, we'll say you put your money where your mouth is. Because the people working with you are the drivers that will bring out the success you want to see in whatever outcome you want to embody, whether in church or otherwise. So you must commit to supporting. You must commit to building. So as I begin to wind down, let us learn the wisdom of listening. Let us understand that as leaders, our job is done mostly internally before we bet out the results externally. Sat people down to say, tell me, what is your perception about me? How well did I do? After this conference, would we ask these young people, how can we deliver a better experience for you next year? A leadership that listens is a leadership that will succeed. Because there are a lot of people with answers to the questions you want to ask. But because you have not solicited for it, they will hold it to themselves. Leadership is also feedback. As feedback is also leadership. As leaders, we have the bias of always giving. We are pouring, giving. Can you also give an opportunity to hear from them? How can I serve you better as a leader? How can I serve you better in this business, you, my customers? How can I be a better team leader? How can I be a better CEO? You must create every avenue possible to receive feedback. Leadership is also inclusion. You cannot work in isolation. Give people agency. Give people the opportunity to exhibit their capabilities. Give people an opportunity to show you what they can bring to the table. Stop backing down orders on everyone and say, everyone do it like this. Cast a vision and trust your team to deliver on it. Decision making is also at the center of leadership. You cannot be somebody who panders to the audience. You cannot be somebody who is doing it because I want the crowd to feel happy about it. A leadership that is pandering to the crowd or is populist will not last. So you must be decisive when it comes to taking decisions in a way that ensures that you are advancing that collective vision you want to build. Now, when you talk about integrity, what is leadership without integrity? What is leadership without the backing that you know that these people are with me, come rain, come shine? So you must embody it if you're going to command the kind of influence that you want. And then, as a leader, always think long term. What and how far can this go? Communicate it to everybody and watch them buy into what you want to be able to bring upward. Then, like I said, encourage people to speak up. Create avenues that allow people share. The one that does not agree with you is not agreeing because he doesn't like you. I have a team member who is at every meeting he's disagreeing. And most times I can even call him to my office and I say, let me hear you. Changing your mind is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. So don't be a fixated leader that says the direction is forward, no turning back. You don't have tetanus, so you can turn your neck. You know when you have tetanus, it locks you in one direction. You can't turn back. So you must be that leader who is iterative and is willing to turn back when the need arises. 4 or 5 things I want you to embody on. And this is my call to action for you. Because remember, first and foremost, leadership starts first with yourself. Define your core values. What are the value systems that shape you? Identify your key responsibilities first to yourself and to your community. Map your service to others, because what is leadership without service? And finally, envision the kind of impact you want to make. And this is my call to action to you as I wrap up, and then we'll take questions. Embrace the leadership opportunities that life presents you. Some of them might not be so beautiful. Some of them might not be rosy. But if you stay on this path of consistency, you will go to that point where what you know, what you do becomes invaluable, that the world is seeking out for you. Lead by example daily. Don't be that person that is saying one thing and doing another. Commit to personal growth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Every vision that is cast by a leader, once it is here, there's no way they can go above it. And that is why a system cannot rise above the vision of its leader. And he also talks about the capacity that you have. Cultivate a supportive network. Who mentors you? Who do you learn from? Which books do you read? Who are those think tank systems or those mastermind networks that you've built, and when you want to think around a process, you say, guys, let's sit down and think through this problem. And then finally, make positive impacts every day. Because remember, I told you that leadership is not a book that you close when you're sleeping and open, and then, or you decide when it's convenient to demonstrate. It's a living experience daily. And these are my final words to you. The world is not waiting for perfect leaders. It is waiting for the prepared ones. And when you think about this, also think about what I'm going to say now. As leaders, let us stop looking for the easy way out of life. Nothing about making impact or generating influence or impacting people is done from a place of convenience. It is hard work. And as leaders, do not be fixated on close running conclusions and finding answers. Be fixated on the quality of questions. You know why? The quality of life, the quality of the world you seek to build. Thank you so much. So,